Good morning, or well, God, afternoon. Good afternoon. It is Monday. It is May 4th. I have on my Star Wars pants. I don't know if you can actually see these, but this is our May 4th. So this is May the 4th be with you. So our meditation today is a light meditation. And I don't know if any of you are Star Wars junkies. I love the first ones. I like the second ones, you know, the newer series, but I'm just still in love with the first set. That's where I grew up with Han Solo and Princess Leia, and discovering the light and this idea of the light battling the darkness. Now, if we think about light in itself, if you go into a room that's completely and totally dark and you spread more darkness, you're not going to see the darkness. It just is there. It envelops into darkness. But if you take just one little dot of light into a room of darkness, you're going to see the light. Everybody in the room will see the light. Doesn't even need to be a big light to see the light. That's how much positive energy, that's how powerful it is. You know, and we don't think about that. We don't think like, you know, oh, there's so much evil and there's so much, you know, darkness. And who am I to be able to change the world? Well, if you're light, pretty easily. It's kind of amazing. Now, in ourselves, we have a tendency to focus on all of our negative stuff. You know, what I'm not doing, all my shortcomings. And our family is loving and helpful as sometimes they try to be. They want to focus on everything that you're not doing. When your kids come home, they might be amazing in art. They might be amazing at music. They might be incredible and beautiful writers, but they're failing math. They're failing science. So what do we focus on? We focus on all the stuff that we're not doing right, and we kind of forget to focus on what we are doing right, where our strengths are. So your kids are failing at math. They might not be mathematicians. They might be artists. They might be writers. And so we start to focus on those things, but we don't do that. We focus on all the things that aren't going well. You know, what on my body I don't like, not what I do like. So that's the difference between starting to embrace our light. You know, starting to figure out, what am I really good at? You know, what is the gift that I've been given? What is the light that I've been given? And how do I shine that on the world? Not, what am I doing wrong? Where am I failing? Where am I not doing what my friends are doing or somebody else is doing? And then I focus on that. And the problem with focusing on that is I might not ever be a math brain. I might not ever be amazing at science. That's not my contribution. So if I spend all of my energy and all of my time focusing on the areas of my life that are really dark, build a little bit more dark. So how do I build up and start to embrace what I'm really good at? Well, you focus on your light. Focus on your strengths. Focus on your friends' strengths, your children's strengths. Build those up. When we see something that we like, you know, talk about that. Encourage that. Let it be a passion and a fire that gets so into your belly that you can't help but spread it more. And then our light becomes this tiny little light. But when we focus on that little spark, that tiny little light, it eventually becomes this huge light. So our passion might spark somebody else's passion, and it might get them excited about something in their life. But if all we ever do as a society is focus on what we're not good at, and then we're missing so much. And it's not that we don't want to ever self-improve, but does it need to be our focus? I can do things a little bit better, but social media is never going to be my strongest suit. I love interacting with people. I love talking stories. I love seeing life in a different way and expressing that. So we're going to do a light meditation today. And I just want you to come. You can do this either lying down. You can do this sitting up. But wherever you are, I want you to be really comfortable. And just start to close your eyes. Don't get over focused on your breath. Sometimes I feel like, am I doing this right? Am I doing it wrong? If you're still alive, you're doing it right. So you don't really have to worry about whether or not you're doing it right or doing it wrong. The idea of breathing inside your meditation is allowing my focus to be on some essential, simple process of breathing in and out. And by focusing on my breath, I'm able to sometimes quiet my mind. Now, if your mind is racing and bouncing from one thing to the next, it's okay. Don't focus on what it's not doing. Focus on when you get 5 seconds, 10 seconds, where you're able to say to yourself, I'm breathing in. This is me breathing in. I feel I'm breathing in. And on your exhale, I am exhaling. This is me breathing out. And all of a sudden, you start equating your words to an action, and you notice that you're able to quiet your thoughts a little bit more. They don't run roughshod over you, so to speak. And then as your thoughts start to quiet, body starts to quiet a little bit more. And so just take a few moments and feel your breath in and out of your body. And see if you can sit up a little taller, but without a lot of effort. You might be lying down. You might be sitting up against something that is supportive. The back of your head might be up against something that is supportive. But making yourself comfortable. If you feel you need to make any little movements or fidgets to make yourself a little more comfortable, do that now. And then as you breathe, I want you to picture your body as this dark vessel, maybe like a dark room. And as you breathe, just start to see that every area the breath hits, it opens those darker spaces like little shards of light coming through the ribs, maybe lifting up the shoulders, and you might just see little specks of light energy. But just start to notice as you breathe in, maybe the body gets a little lighter in the sense of visual light, but even lighter in the sense of taking weight off the tailbone. And with your exhale, feel that things are sinking down a little bit more, but keeping the spine still in this supported position. Now, as you exhale, you might notice that those areas retract back a little into a semblance of darkness, but maybe as though there's still a little bit of light that stays in those spaces. And as you breathe, just see if you can continue the breath into other areas of the body. So at first you might just feel the breath entering the ribs, maybe traveling down and pulling towards the abdomen. Maybe even pulling towards the hips or the legs. And notice your body starting to fill up more with light. And with each breath, start to see if there's any area of your body that remains in darkness. And see if you can breathe a little bit more into those areas. That might be towards the back of the neck. You might extend your vision to the tops of the ears, the back of the head, the forehead, maybe down through the hips towards the thighs or the knees. You might feel that light in the calves, the ankles, the toes. But start to picture how much of your body is now still in this visual darkness. And if you only have a little light in your body, focus on that. Focus on the areas that are visually light with your eyes closed. And as I focus on the light, you'll notice that the light has a tendency to grow a little bit more. Now, keeping this sense of light, notice how light the body is, like the degree or level of light. Now, I want you to picture at the very top of your head a beam of light that is so bright that if you looked at it with your eyes, you would have to shield your eyes to protect them. Something that is a ray of light, as though the sun itself is shining down. And even though your body might be really light, I want you to picture that this light, center of your core, the top of the head, is so bright it transcends light itself. And it is healing. It is energizing. It is not only healing for the body, but it taps in so deep into all the layers of the body that you don't even know are there, hitting every cell, lighting up every atom, going deep into the subconscious. This light heals physically and mentally, and it's going to tap into your light being, the greatest part of yourself that transcends what you're doing, but it's going to help you find how to deepen what you're already talented in, what you're already really good at. And you don't have to know what that is. Your inner being knows. And so picture this light traveling through the very center of your head. Picture it on your head, caressing every fiber of your hair, going around the skull and tapping and strengthening into the cellular activity of your brain. Turning on areas of your brain that maybe have been a little dormant. Maybe I haven't been working or tapping into. And feeling this symphony of activity going on in your brain as all these lights connect to the other lights. And it just moves from one neuron to the other. And each neuron is being turned on, lit up from within. And this activity is going at this rapid pace and movement. Feel this energy travel down over your face, healing your skin, healing deep into the layers of your skin, down to the tissue, underneath the tissue to the bone, the muscles, the tendons, the ligaments, working into all the fibrous areas of my body. And tapping deep into these layers. Now our bones are very fibrous and there's lots of holes in the bones. So picturing this light going into each little pocket of the bones, making them stronger, infusing the bones really strong, doing the same with the muscles, the ligaments, the tendons. Going down over each area of your face, the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the ears, allowing the whole body to relax as this light is drawing downward towards the earth. Picture it going around the shoulders, the front of the chest, the back of the chest, the heart, over the stomach, the esophagus, the throat, going over each organ, healing, getting deep into the tissues, the bones, the muscles, the tendons, and the light is filling in every gap, every area that might have darkness. So the light is enveloping your entire being. And just, even if those areas are already a little light, picture this new light just taking over and filling up. Picture this light traveling over each and every rib, going down the back of the vertebra, starting at the cervical spine, and just traveling in this circular pattern, going through and around and over each vertebra, creating more space, more cushion, more light. Where darkness might have compressed in, this light is expansive and opening. Picture it going down through and all the way to the hips, the base of the spine, over the right, the left leg, over the bottom, through the core of your body and connecting your core to the core of the earth. So not only are you feeling this light from the top, but you're getting this connection and this energy to everything in this world. That we are bound by what I cannot see often, but feeling this envelopment, that your body is being taken over by this light. And just start to notice how light your body gets. Able to sit up and almost as though the head is growing upward and the tailbone is pulling down. Feeling this expansiveness through the ribs and the spine. The light is traveling through the legs, over the joints of the hips, the knees, going down the shins and the calves, over the joints of the ankles, and over each and every bone in the toes. Feel this going down the arms, the shoulders, getting into the joints of the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists. That your entire body is filled with this light. And just start to notice if there's any area of your body that is not just lit from within. Notice if your breath is more expansive, more open. Breathe in and knowing that you are a being of light. And that when you focus on the light, the darkness can't survive. When I focus on my strengths, my weaknesses can't survive. When I focus on my strengths, that is what the world sees, not the weakness. And so focusing on your strengths, knowing that you are this being of light, and that you have this opportunity to go back to this light practice anytime you want. But being a vessel of light is how I change the world. Focusing on the dark is allowing fear to envelop me. And fear is the dark side. And starting to understand that how I eradicate fear is to focus on where I am already light. And so maybe start making little movements, but keeping this sense of light in your body. And then maybe starting to softly open the eyes and coming back into this place of comfort, and notice if you feel any different. All of us have an area that we are not strong. And if I focus on that, I'm always going to feel as though I'm not doing something right. But each and every one of us has a light gift. And if you focus on that and you build up where you're already light, the dark side, not all of us are 100% good at 100% of everything. It's impossible. So why focus on where you're already weak? Focus on your strengths. Give those to the world. Okay? The areas that we're weaker at, unless they're really causing your life a problem, then work on just little bits. But really harness and focus on your strength. And the weak areas, hire somebody to do those. As you build up your strength, that's where you're going to find your profitability. That's where you're going to find your passion, and where you are really passionate, where you are just lit from within. That's where life will find you to make you more successful, more profitable. And then you can hire people to do the things that you're not so great at. All right. I hope you have an absolutely amazing May 4th. So May the 4th be with you. And thank you so much for enjoying this light meditation with me. Namaste.